Welcome to Renegade Performance Radio and today Renegade Performance TV, because it's going to be streamed to YouTube's as well. I'm your regular host, Zach Nothling, and we have Callum Gifford.
Hi there, how you going?
And Aaron Chan.
Kia ora.
Alright, so today we are going to be bringing you a special for 23.1, the CrossFit Open. Things we're going to be covering, first of all, is our initial thoughts on the workout. Then we're going to have a little bit of a yarn about our predictions for what we think are going to be the top scores out there worldwide. Then we're going to dive into some strategy chat for those athletes that are hoping to make the quarterfinals. So those are the fringe athletes, because the top athletes, they're pretty confident they're going to get there. So this chat's going to be for everybody that's going to be fighting to make that top 10%. Then we'll be having a bit of a strategy chat for athletes that are just looking to get your best score in this workout, your best personal performance, some thoughts on scaled athletes, what you guys can be thinking about, and then finally just any movement tips and tricks that we have to finish off. So let's rip into it. Callum, initial thoughts on this workout. 23.1, I believe this was 14.4. How did you go the first time you did it?
Yeah, it was a good workout. I did enjoy this workout as far as an actual CrossFit capacity test. We get a good variety of movements, and it's just a good overall training piece as well as a good competition piece. I personally, in 2014, finished with 31 calories back on the rower in the second round. Redid it a couple of times, didn't get anywhere near that score, and this was actually at the time the video that they asked for regionals qualifications, and I submitted a video that was well below what I actually got in the initial workout, which was a little bit worrying, but hey, we made it, and the rest is history, as they say.
Aaron, your thoughts on the workout?
Dream come true for someone who likes ring muscle ups, as I hasn't seen them in the Open for a couple of years now. So opening week, a workout like this on this sort of like higher skill level, I was quite happy about, because usually it's stuff that I'm not very good at, which is most things. But last time I did this, I logged a score of 3 muscle ups. I actually think I got 13, and I was my rookie year as an Open, so I was an idiot and didn't know how to put my score in properly. But yeah, I'm actually quite excited about this. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yeah, personally, it's one of my favourite Open workouts. I really like the format of the workout for the Open, where it's the higher skill movements towards the end. So we've got those toe to bar in the middle, and then the muscle ups towards the end, or at the end there, which means that everybody can, well, a majority of people can take part in the RX version of the workout, because everybody can row. Most people that are completing the Open have the capacity to do a few toe to bar, and it's so forth. So it means that it's inclusive, but the top athletes are still going to be challenged, because they're going to have to send it to get back to the rower and really push on to get to those toe to bar. I believe only 4 athletes in the world got to the toe to bar in 2014, and so we all did this workout, what's that, 8 years ago now, which makes me feel very old. But it'll be interesting to see how much the field has improved over those 8 years. So the best scores in the world in 2014, we had Rich Froning with 277 reps for the males, which is 17 toe to bar, I think, and then Sam Briggs 256 for the females, which is 56 calories, which I think is almost more impressive, because when you think of it's the same calories for males and females, that in itself is a time disadvantage for a female, and so Sam's always shown that she's got that engine to be able to compete with the males on any of the machines or running. And so, lads, how much do you think the field has improved since 2014? What do you think the top scores are going to look like this time around?
I actually think that we're going to probably see people getting majority through the wall balls, I think, this time through. We saw some pretty impressive scores this morning with Lazar and BK. That was impressive stuff. I couldn't imagine the speed that they were going at when I first ever watched this, when it was old Panchik versus Bridges. Like, those guys at that time were peak, and that was nothing compared to today. So I'm predicting mid wall balls, late wall balls sort of zone.
I didn't actually get to see the full open show. So where did the boys finish?
Well, I actually I got a bit down on myself watching it, so I just
You stopped watching?
I stopped watching at about the 5-minute mark.
At about
back on the muscle ups.
Back up on the muscle ups. Cool. Callum, what are your thoughts? Where do you think they're going to get to?
Yeah, I do obviously think everyone's improved a lot over this time. I think we'll see a lot more than 4 people get back to the total bar this go round. I would be very impressed if a bunch of people did make it back to their wall balls. I think probably somewhere around mid set of those total bar, that second set of total bar will be, I would predict, where a lot of the elite and top guys kind of get to, and some of the better guys and the fitter guys, Justin Medeiros and those guys, will probably get a little bit further on than that.
All right, let's give it a rep range of where a rep that you think it is, and then we can revisit this next week to see who won. So I'm going to predict that the top score in the world will be on the second round and 49 total bar for the males.
Second round, and I think 26 wall balls.
Callum?
Yeah, I'm similar to Z. I think second round, let's say 30 to 40.
No, one rep.
Okay, sorry. I think 41 total bar.
41 total bar, okay. So we'll come back next week and see who's got the closest. So that's for men's top score. All right, so moving on. So what do we think? We've got a lot of athletes that want to make it through to that quarterfinals. So that's the top 10% of the region. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Cool. Okay, so we don't know that exact number just yet, but you obviously need to be putting in your best effort, your best score. So if you are a fringe athlete that are hoping to make the that top 10%, then this part of the chat is for you. So Callum, what are your thoughts on what athletes that are on the fringe need to be thinking about?
I think athletes that are on the fringe that are trying to make that 10% or that cut line need to be focused on their pacing. So starting the workout exactly as they want to finish the workout. If they are someone, and generally these fringe athletes are going to be athletes that struggle on high level skill work, need to be thinking about a really smart strategy on their total bar to get through that and be able to carry on at a pretty decent pace to get through the rest of the workout. For example, if you are a fringe athlete and you think doing a big set of 15 is a great idea on the total bar, that is probably going to catch up and there'll be some residual effect later on and compounding effect later on in the workout. So starting at a pace you know you can finish at, whether you get to the muscle ups or not, or whether you get muscle ups or not, is going to depend heavily on what you do at the beginning of the workout. So being nice and smart on the row, being smart with your rep range on the total bar and the wall balls, and then moving through the cleans at a pretty steady pace to get that work done, to give you the best possible chance to get some muscle ups, because I do think a lot of fringe athletes that are in that cut line area to get to the 10% are going to be stuck around that first, second, third muscle up. So give yourself as much opportunity at the beginning of the workout to conserve as much energy as you can, get to the muscle ups with a bit of time on the clock, and then chip away at trying to get your first muscle up or your second muscle up or your third muscle up.
See, I probably, and I'm going to disagree with you here, I reckon fringe athletes are going to be up into the teens of their muscle ups. Like if we're talking about guys that are going for quarterfinals here, they're probably going to be a little bit higher based on just the 2014 results. Like, so 2014 was my second year of CrossFit, thereabouts, and I checked my score and I was at 11 muscle ups then. So if we think the field's improved, then I think what you're probably referring to is what most people, your general population guys that are trying to just get their best score. Yeah, true. In my opinion, anyway. Aaron, your thoughts?
Mine's similar. I think you need to be a lot smarter with how you're going to approach these reps, especially this toaster bar. I know a lot of people got caught on that last time. Including myself. I was fairly confident with toaster bar, and I opened, I think, with a set of like 20 or 25, and then it really quickly dropped down to 5s and 3s and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm going to change that approach this time. Even with the level I'm at, I'm a lot better than I was back then. The biggest thing here is there's a lot of things here, like in regards to toaster and stuff, that are going to lure you into those cleans. Those cleans, they're at a weight, that medium sort of weight that we're used to cycling. Like a lot of us are used to cycling that sort of thing and touch and go in those reps. The key here, I think, is on those fringe athletes is don't get lured into doing big unbroken sets, all right? Yeah, sure, you can do those big set of 10 unbroken, but how long are you going to rest for before you have to pick up that bar again? We saw those top boys this morning. I think I saw someone do a set of 5 and then it was just straight singles from there. So you need to be smart with that, because the longer you hold onto that barbell unbroken there, it's going to impact you in the long run on those muscle ups. If your grip's gone, it's going to be too hard to get up on the rings, even if you've got the capacity to do ring muscle ups and your chest is fine and your triceps are fine. You're not going to be able to get up there if you don't have a grip. All right, so it's just being smart and just trusting yourself and your ability to still be able to get through those reps. So just quick single reps, I think, and just, don't be lured into anything silly. All right, but that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I'd agree with Aaron. Steady pace on the row. Break the toe bar up early, smooth on the wall balls, singles on the cleans, whatever you're capable of on the muscle ups is probably going to be the go-to strategy for most people. And it's all going to really come down to your muscle up capacity for 90% of the field, right? Is how you can handle those muscle ups. So you have to be thinking about what you're doing in the first 9 minutes of the workout is going to determine how you're going to hit those muscle ups. And so every decision you make in the first 9 minutes, that's what's going to make up for that last sort of 5 minutes of the workout. So you've got to be cautious and smart, have enough energy to get yourself up over those rings, and so that you can repeat those sets as well. Because you all know what it's like if you come out too hot, and you're going to be excited. If you're doing Friday night lights with your gym, you're going to be even more excited. You're going to have your judge there. People are going to be cheering. You're going to get lured into the guy next to you's pace. You're not going to be able to slow down. You're going to be looking over at him and thinking, oh shit, he's ahead of me. But that's the trap. That's where you've got to be careful. You've got to stay in your lane and think about your own game and how you're going to get ahead. All right, and so Callum's pretty much already covered the strategy for athletes wanting to get their best score. Man, we've got this mic taped to a dumbbell, and it's actually quite tiring. It's a 2 kilo dumbbell, and it's fatiguing me in my grip. And so, as Callum said, like for you athletes that are wanting to get your best score, for a lot of you might have 1 or 2 muscle-ups fresh, or you might have muscle-ups but not necessarily have them very, very good capacity under fatigue. And so it's going to be a case of, once again, exactly the same as what I was talking about before, setting yourself up for success so that you can get 1 or 2 muscle-ups, because 1 or 2 muscle-ups, if you are entering your score on the open leaderboard, is probably hundreds of places, right? Especially in those lower numbers. It will spread out in the higher numbers, but in those lower numbers, the difference between 0 muscle-ups and 1 muscle-ups could be thousands of places. And so, and just for you and you getting your best score, you want to just be able to knock out as many attempts at least at those muscle-ups. So being conservative in the early part is going to allow you to do that, but still having enough time to be able to get some muscle-ups. So you're still probably looking to want to have somewhere in the vicinity of at least, say, maybe 2 minutes to give yourself a little bit of an opportunity to recover and then knock out some muscle-up attempts. And so now moving into just like chats about scaled athletes. So one thing to remember for scaled athletes is that last place RX beats first place scaled. But it's about the experience that you want to have during the open. Okay, so what type of workout do you want to come into to do when you come in to do Friday night lights with your gym? Do you want to be standing under the rig and struggling to get your toe to bar, or do you want to be flying through some knee raises? And there's no right or wrong answer for this. It's totally up to you about what experience you want. I would say if you've got the capacity to do any toe to bar, I would encourage you to go on the RX side of this workout, even if you can't do muscle ups, because then you're going to get through those wall balls onto those cleans, and then you probably, if you're at that level, you're probably not even going to necessarily finish the cleans. So I would probably recommend pushing yourself and stepping out of your comfort zone and giving the RX a crack. If you don't have your toe to bar, and then obviously you're probably not going to want to do the workout RX. Thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree. I'll give Zach a rest from holding the mic. No, I agree. So depending on if you've registered for the Open or not, I think things like hanging knee raises are still a good way to get some capacity work in with that skill movement. But if you struggling to hold yourself on the rig and you physically cannot get that many reps out of that movement, then you might want to go with sit-ups or something a little bit more manageable and achievable. As Zach said, it depends on what you want from the workout when you walk into the gym. If you want to get a really good workout in for 14 minutes, then you choose the option that allows you to move for that entire time rather than standing there looking at something, a piece of equipment or a rig bay or anything like that. So that would be my advice on that. Once again, as Zach said, it depends on really what you want from the workout tonight.
Awesome. So, any final thoughts, recommendations, tips, tricks, Azza, based on your experience?
Just have fun. Just have fun. Like we just touched on then is, it's are you competing or are you here for community? Are you here to just have fun with everyone? Do you want me to take that? It depends, right? If you're here for competitiveness and like they said, you've got the capacity to toast the bar, then do the toast the bar, all right? You'll get to the wall balls, you better do the wall balls, all right? They're pretty universal. Most people can do those wall balls and that rep range. The rep range isn't too crazy either, and stuff like that. So just fight through that. If you're here for community and stuff, and you couldn't care less about competing and what you are on the leaderboard, do the scaled. Go handy. Get a huge 14-minute score in there, okay? Try to set the best score in scaled. Do it, all right? But like we said, if you got the capacity, push yourself, do the toes to bar, do those power cleans, those wall balls, okay? And hey, if you get time to go for those muscle ups, give it a go, right? No harm in it, right? That's it. That's all I got.
Awesome. And so final note, we will release a little bit of a primer for those athletes. I think a lot of athletes, when they do the open, go straight from cold, do a couple warm-up reps and then rip into the workout. Massive mistake, because it's a bit of a shock to the old system when you haven't had your lungs opened up. So we'll be posting up a primer that everyone can do to get those lungs nice and open before starting this workout. But that's us for this week. Any questions, hit us in the comments or the DMs. And we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.